What's going on, guys? Craig here this morning. And if you're not following me on Twitter yet, go do that. Join almost 11,000 other followers. The handle is Masculine Design. All right, this morning, very encouraged. I'm seeing a lot of men in my sphere of influence. I'm seeing a lot of men inside of my tribe, the Fraternity of Excellence, starting to have some major inflection points in their life. Starting to realize and recognize that change needs to happen. They're understanding that there are things in their lives that need to be improved. They're seeing the problems that are being fomented in their lives. They're seeing the root cause of the circumstances that they find undesirable, and they are looking to make a change. And it's encouraging because what I see in these men is something that is uncommon. What we tend to see in society today, what we tend to see in most male groups today, not all, is this tendency to justify away the need to change. People recognize that there are things that need to be improved in their lives, but instead of taking the corrective action required to right the wrongs that are going on in their lives, they justify mediocrity. They justify continuing down the same path they're on. And there's a reason for this. And the processes that take place in our mind that justify mediocrity, that justify continuing failure, often happen at a subconscious level. But if you think about what is required to make a change versus stay the same, we see that it's very tempting for our minds to make the decision to just continue doing what we're doing and not have to go through the pain of change in order to experience the greater benefits that come down the road when we change the actions we're taking and take better action. And so if you think about it this way, when we are faced with this inflection point of understanding that we need to make a change in our lives, we have two options. We can make the change, start taking right action, or we can choose to do nothing at all. We can just continue down the path we're on. Now, to continue down the path we're on is very tempting because we immediately defer the discomfort that would take place if we decided to take corrective action. Additionally, when we continue doing the same things, the consequences of inaction aren't immediately felt. They're deferred to a later point in time. And so we get this immediate hit of avoiding discomfort, which is great, and the consequences of doing so aren't immediately felt. So it's deferred. It's like a credit card, right? You pay for it now, and you get what you want, and while you end up paying a whole lot more in the long run, you worry about that later. So it's a foolish decision, but it's easy to justify because it's easy to believe that that pain that's going to be experienced later is worth deflecting the discomfort that would take place if we had to take corrective action. Now, taking corrective action, on the other hand, works pretty much the inverse. So yes, you take corrective action. It's very uncomfortable in the moment. It can be. Sometimes it's not quite so uncomfortable. It depends on what you're changing. But it can be uncomfortable immediately, which is why we don't like it. However, there are immense benefits to be had by taking that corrective action. The problem is those immense benefits, just like the consequences of inaction, the immense benefits of action often aren't actualized or recognized until a much later point in time. And so this is how we justify in our minds not taking corrective action, because it's very easy to recognize that immediate benefit of not taking corrective action, just continuing to do what we do, because we are not going to experience that discomfort that would otherwise be experienced if we decided to take corrective action. So it takes some mental fortitude to do the right thing. And this is something that we need to be training ourselves to do. When we recognize change that needs to happen in our lives, we need to recognize that temptation to not take action because we don't want to deal with the discomfort. And instead, take right action, understanding that the benefits that we stand to gain from doing so are far greater than any discomfort we might avoid by not taking action. So that's my message for you this morning, men. You probably have areas in your life right now that you've been shirking, areas you know that you need to be changing, areas you know you need to be working on, but you're not taking that action for all the reasons I've just mentioned. And so I'm admonishing you this morning to purge that mindset, to have the right mindset that says, I understand it will be uncomfortable, but I also understand that the benefits of taking corrective action are well worth whatever discomfort I might experience in the near term. So that's it, man. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, give it a share, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active on social media. The handle is Masculine Design. And as I mentioned at the outset, my tribe, the Fraternity of Excellence, is comprised of men who understand the necessity of doing uncomfortable things, of attacking the problems in their lives so that they don't continue to go on unchecked. They don't continue to grow and fester until they become a much bigger problem and much harder to face head on. If you want to join what we're doing inside of there, be held accountable, be strengthened, be built up, go to fraternityofexcellence.com, check that out. The price for all membership levels increases by 20% on March 1st, so that's only a couple of weeks away. So if you are interested in that, you want to join now, don't wait. The investment in yourself will be well worth it, I promise you. So that's it, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you in advance for sharing. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, this is Craig James from MasculineByDesign.com. I am out.